So this video is about emotional trauma and how to get rid of it step by step. I made a video describing why the easier way of getting rid of emotional trauma is not to revisit the trauma, but rather to understand who you are. And I said briefly that who are you? The essence of who you are is not the body and mind. And therefore, you are not supposed to be identifying with the body and mind. And trauma and all our problems and health issues come from identifying with the body and mind. Okay, it's not to say that the body and mind doesn't exist and the physical reality as you are present. It's just that it's not your true reality. The body and mind can only be present when your consciousness or awareness is present. Without your consciousness or awareness, there's no body, there's no mind. When you go in deep sleep, there's no body and there's no mind. Yes, sure, somebody can tell you that you are asleep and they saw you asleep. But as far as your experience is concerned, there's no body and mind in deep sleep. So just bear with me a moment because I'm trying to show you the fastest and easiest way to heal your trauma that can work in an instant. Okay? So first of all, you have to make your mind subtle. So you're going to use the I am meditation. And this I am meditation can take you a while, meaning that you have to focus on the word I am. You can use a mantra and say I am, I am, I am, but the key fact of the I amness is not just repeat it, but is to understand or hold in the I amness. Focus on the I amness. Meditation in this regard is concentration. You're concentrating on I amness, and this will brush away the other thoughts in the mind and focus on I am. When you do that and you are centered in the I amness, then you are in your pure consciousness or awareness. Is the purest form of the mind, put it that way. But you are even beyond this body and mind and this awareness. Awareness is not the final reality, but that's a different video. So once you hold on to the I amness and you realize that something will come up to you and say, who am I? And you never answer that question, because answering that question is the mind. Who am I is basically like a stillness will come, a quietness will come, and that's your true, pure knowingness or mind or awareness. And that's where you want to operate from on a day-to-day basis, your quietness, your I amness. In this place, there's no body and no mind, and therefore there's no identification with the trauma. Now, if you look at the trauma as it is, you have to look at it like a dream, a bad dream. You see, when you are sleeping and you get waking up from a bad dream, what's the first thing you say to yourself? Oh my God, thank God, it was just a dream, right? Well, this reality we're living in is a long dream as well. It's a long dream, meaning that it's going to continue until, of course, you pass away or it's your time. But in the meantime, though, you can choose to identify as your reality, or you can choose to identify with your body and mind. And if you choose to identify with the reality, the trauma or past events will start to fade away. It's not like they never happen. It's just that you will not give it as importance. It never happened to you because you're not the body and mind. It happened to the body and mind, but you're not the body and mind. I hope that it's a clear distinction of what I'm trying to say. So you use the I am meditation until the mind becomes subtle. This can take sometimes days, weeks, months. It depends on how mature you are spiritually. But what is going to happen once you're doing this, that you're going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. You're going to have peace and joy inside you. You're going to be quieter. And in this regard, you have to say to yourself as an understanding, just like somebody who goes to school and the teacher says, study this, you do the same thing. You have to get to the deep understanding that I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. Therefore, I'm not the past, I'm not the future. The past and future are thoughts, the events that will come and go, but they're not the real me, because the real me always remains despite the conditions of the body and mind. It's something always present, and that's your real you. And therefore, you choose no longer to identify with events, future, past, or future and the past. The present is where you remain, but you cannot remain in the present with a conscious mind. The present is present when your mind is not present. That's the present. Okay, but so you cannot, and any attempt to be in the present is an attempt in the past or future. It's not the present. So the way you stay in the present is to understand that the mind and body are not real, and by doing so you forget the body and mind, and this forgetfulness of the body and mind allows you to stay centered in yourself. This is your true self, your purest knowledge or purest awareness, but it's not the final reality. But for this video only, it's good to take it that the pure awareness or consciousness is where you want to be when you're trying to get rid of your trauma. So this constant practice of the I amness and saying to yourself and studying that I'm not the body and mind, nothing is real. When I say nothing is real, I mean nothing is real as far as your pure self is concerned. It's just an illusion or a picture on yourself. Okay, and if you do this meditation back and forth, and keep on going, you're going to see that your events, your past trauma events, and fears and anxieties start to go away because you're no longer attaching to them anymore, right? And you become lighter and lighter, and your traumas go away. This is a big difference than trying to go back and relive the event and even modifying the event in your mind. Because you are saying to yourself, "It's real," and this. Trying to say it's real makes it real, and it gets worse and worse and worse. You don't want to be dealing with that stuff. You just want to let it go. You let it go by forgetting. You forget by understanding everything that you perceive or experience is not real as far as the pure self is concerned. And if you do that, you're going to get your remedy, and you're going to balance yourself, and you're going to retain yourself, and you're going to have this pureness that cannot be shaken off. And that, my friend, is where you want to be.